MCScratchatory, I think that's how you pronounce that, sent me a message the other day, and I just want to give a quick response. His message was, I got a question for you. You may have already discussed this topic before. If so, I'm sorry. Interesting ways to start a game, how not to start a game, or how to bring PCs together, and how not to. Thank you. Alright, well, as you see by the picture on the screen there, Ye Olde Tavern is pretty much the cliched way to start an adventure. You know, you're in a bar with people you know or people you don't know. Sometimes there's the awkward moments of, okay, how can the GM force everyone to get along? How can he force the necromancer and the paladin to be in the same party? You know, things like that. And, I mean, it's a cliche for a reason. It's easy to do. It's easy to pull off. Taverns are places to meet. And if you're running a game, you know, even though it is cliche, don't be afraid to use it. I mean, people say, you know, don't do that, it's terrible. But if you're running a game that's a little bit more tongue-in-cheek, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, taverns are a place. You're going to run into taverns. You're going to get a drink. If someone's playing the stereotypical drunk dwarven character, you know, he's going to want to stop in some tavern at some point. So, again, just take everything we say on YouTube with a grain of salt, you know. If it's fun for you, your group, and where you're playing at, wherever that is in the world, you know, just go with it. Don't worry about what we say. So there's other questions there, like how can you bring characters together? Me and Alikov, he's another YouTuber, have talked in the past about social contracts where before you get together with, you know, and actually make characters, just set out some ground rules, like if the campaign's going to be a city campaign, try to make sure no one decides to, you know, bolt the city, and it like really makes sense for what's going on in the game. That way it kind of just limits some problems down the road. But, you know, like I was saying about the necromancer and the paladin, if you just kind of talk to everyone before you start, it's like, yeah, okay, guys, you know, these are the alignments we're going to do. Or if the game doesn't have alignments, you know, just try to tell them, okay, try to work your characters together. Use your backstory as glue. You know, if you make your character in a vacuum, sometimes it can be nigh impossible to get them all to work together. There are certain games where that doesn't really matter as much, like Vampire the Masquerade, where there's lots of, you know, infighting and drama and politics and things like that. And that's part of the drama, is the, you know, are the characters going to kill each other this session or the next? So, depending on what game you're running and what you want to pull off, you know, you have to do things differently. Interesting ways to start a game. Probably one of the most interesting ways I've ever seen anyone start a game is when the game started and all the characters were buried vertically, upside down, in coffins, behind a brick wall. And the only character that could get out was the rogue character, who then proceeded to chip everyone else out of the walls. But again, I mean, if you have a player that's being a little ornery, you know, they could just leave everyone else to die in the walls and then, you know, loot their stuff or whatever. So you have to be prepared for players to do strange things. Basically, if you want to start out a game fresh, Mark Williams, Rabbit with some numbers on the end, just did a video, and he mentioned in media res, where you start out with action. Sometimes it's not even the action of what your campaign's about, or it's not even your characters, maybe it's NPCs. But if you start out, you know, with lots of energy, lots of enthusiasm, a cool idea, that's a good way to start. And feel free to steal, you know, 5-finger discount any ideas you get from movies, books, etc. I hope that answers your question, and have a good day, everyone.